Milford, back in the 50s, was also a volunteer fire department. When we had a big whistle, and that whistle would blow 53. So if you were outside and you were doing work, or if you were at work somewhere and you heard that whistle blow 53, the poor employer or you, whatever you were doing, would drop whatever you were doing, and you would come down here to the town hall, because for the biggest portion of the 50s into the 60s or so, the fire engines were kept at the bottom of this town hall. And for several years, many of us volunteer firemen would go to town, and we would go to the town meeting on the second Tuesday of March there, and we'd say, we need a new fire station. And I remember one gentleman, his name was Ernie Barrett. He was a selectman, and for every year, he would oppose us. Finally, after about 6 or 7 years, we decided that at one of our meetings, I brought up the fact that if we're going to have a new fire station, we as firefighters have got to show the real need. We've got to show why and what all the new modern equipment would be. So we worked for a whole year. We went to every organization in this community. We had the latest facts when it came town meeting time. We had PowerPoint presentations. We had charts. We knew the exact dimensions of every fire engine that could be had at the time, none of them which would fit in downstairs. And so we made our little speech about 3 or 4 minutes long. This gentleman, Ernie Barrett, stands up, and boy, I was just so ready for him. And he says, folks, they have shown us the need for a fire station. I say we vote for it. And it was all over within about 5 minutes, and to this day, I still say, my gosh, why did we do all that work? But after the town election, or town meeting, which would be in March, the following Tuesday night, there was always a overall fire department meeting, at which time the members of the fire department would vote in the new fire chief or continue to use the fire chief. And I know some of them stayed for a long time as fire chiefs. We had one chief, it was a winter month, and I remember we're going down Nashua Street, and it was snow. Oh my gosh, you could not, everything was covered with snow, including all the fire hydrants. And I remember this one chief saying to us, we had the ring on the back of the fire engine that would, you'd throw it over the hydrant, and that way would pull the hose out of it. And he says, take that hydrant, take that hydrant. So we okay, chief, we threw it over it. The only thing is, it was a garbage pail, and it did present an interesting situation. I mean, we dragged that poor garbage pail down the road for a ways, but we didn't get the hose out. That was the problem. We've had some very interesting incidents. We had a big barn fire out on North River Road, which I happened to be on an engine that was just me and another fellow. We get to the fire, they tell us to what they call reverse lay, meaning we're gonna lay from the fire back to a watering hole. We went to this brook, and the other fellow that was driving the engine, he said, you get the strainers and things prepared in the hard sections, and I'll cut the hole. I hear chomp, 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 and then I hear, help! I look over. He had been so excited that he'd actually taken and chiseled around himself and fell through the hole. To this day, it's been one of the stories of the firehouse that never has been forgotten. So yes, we hauled him out, and yes, we got the strainer in, we got the fire out.